Greetings Cancer, welcome to your February reading with me. Happy 2020. I am doing these readings in mid-January, so that's why I'm still wishing everyone a happy new year, I think. We dash into the 20s with lots of activity and action. We've all talked about this for some months. I'm not an astrologer, but I know the global astrology field, if you like, have been really excited, I guess, in many ways about the planetary alignment that was happening in January of 2020 with Jupiter, Pluto and Saturn all together in the sign of Capricorn. Something that hasn't happened for 2,000 years or more, and kind of hints at massive change at very many levels, especially throughout society and big institutions, governments, politics, patriarchal systems, things like that. So we are on the cusp of change, and we are on the cusp of a very fast-paced decade as we move forward. We've just come out of the first of the eclipse seasons for 2020 with the eclipse on January the 10th. So if you're tuning into this video as I upload it, you will still be feeling the powerful reverberations of that intense eclipse. Also tied in with this planetary alignment that is happening. It's an unusual one because it's covering off such a vast timeline of events, and some of these timelines will encapsulate past lives as well. So there'll be this feeling of almost pulling through from distant past, and that will be at the soul level as well as connecting with this current timeline and also timelines into the future. And there will be divergence points that are going on throughout the past, present and future. So this can create some really, for me, I'm thinking really wackadoodle type thoughts, energies, feelings, synchronicities, experiences, and it should open a lot of you to new doorways and possibilities. And a lot of these could be very positive because some karmic events are being tied up and dealt with for a lot of people. So I guess without sort of going on too much more like that, let's hit the reading cards and see what is in store for you guys for Cancer for February 2020. This one has actually come out a little bit for people during this month of February, and it's Heartache and Loss. It's the 3 of Swords. So the 3 is the Trinity number, and it often does mean 3 people are involved. It can also mean that there is a group of 3 that have been affected in a bit of a sad way. Sometimes this card, when it presents itself, can be around when such things as a divorce are taking place, or a separation, or the signing off of things that needed to be ended. So the card is often registered about endings, and sometimes emotional endings, and sometimes those of the love relationship field. It doesn't have to be your intimate partner. It could be the best friend in your life. It could be a brother or sister. And sometimes they are moving away. Sometimes there's more of a falling apart because of lack of communication, or your paths are no longer crossing. The thing about this card that can be useful or helpful is it can be temporary. So the 3s are quite transient and the pain can move on quickly. It can also be healed sometimes with communication and good mediation. So if you're wanting to try to heal a relationship that you feel is going out the door but you wish it wasn't, then employ someone to help with the mediation through it, and use good communication. And communication also means listening. There's also this heart down here. So sometimes I think of the physical heart for people, that you could know someone with a heart issue, or up through the chest region. And sometimes this is things like breast cancer as well. If not, it could be yourself that you need to look at your heart health. So get a good checkup, make sure your diet's going well, your blood pressure is all good, your cholesterol levels are in, the protocol levels. But her heart is down here, and this is actually the stomach and the liver area of the body. Now this could also need some healing. or there could be a red light flashing there for some of you. So the big thing with the liver is detox. So remember that it can be a card that signals a really good time to do some detoxifying throughout the body. The liver also holds our emotional trauma, where we hold anger, fear, resentment, hate, guilt, shame. So sometimes all of that needs balancing. Now that's where it ties back into what I was saying earlier about the karmic release that is coming, that may have been with your soul over many, many thousands of lifetimes or past lives or thousands of years. So there's this culmination of energy that's almost swirling like a massive vortex around us right now. Some of the things that will happen will be going on at the cellular level. Some of it will be obvious to you. Some of it you will feel at a very subtle energy level. A lot of this can be tied in with family issues, family DNA and lineage. And you know, some of us wonder why we picked the families we did, because we've got soul work to do with them. And for a lot of us, we can be doing healing work for families, and the rest of the family have no idea what's going on because they're oblivious to it. But we can be healing family lineages that have had past karma debts heavily weighted with them, and these can often show up in mental health illnesses or physical illnesses. So this is a time where a lot of clearing can take place and a lot of work can be put in to help free up these emotional traumas that have gone on through many lifetimes. The universe is the world card. It is a fabulous card. It connects with the cosmos, and of course, if you think about it, they're now showing us the planets and the planets in our solar system, which is what I've just been talking about. These are the moments in time, because of the way the planets are moving, that create this end of time epic energy, change, portals, doorways, openings. When the universe card or the world card comes out, there's opportunities here, as I've just been saying, about going back in time, bringing past timelines into the future, into the now, into the present. But this card also talks to us a great deal about wisdom that we have gained over these journeys. Now, traditionally, the world card, most people would only talk about it as being the journey of this lifetime, but I'm understanding this at a great deeper depth, especially at this current timeline we're in 2020, that this card will represent your lifetime of many lifetimes, of many soul evolutions. So we are embarking on some incredibly amazing breakthroughs, amazing potentials, amazing synchronicities, occurrences, galactic and celestial connections. And I have myself been talking about how powerful this junction point was, or this portal. So you guys are the first that have had the universe card come out at all for any of these readings, but this card comes out very, very seldom anyhow. So maybe for you guys, Cancer, there is this amazing celestial timeline opening and you guys might be intensely affected. This card can also reference, if you're coming back more into the daily life type thing, traveling, moving overseas, going on a big overseas adventure, sometimes a new job overseas, finishing something like a degree or a cycle in your life and moving on to a new cycle. So some of you may have been working, say, as a healthcare worker for 10 or 15 years, and you've suddenly decided, I'm going to change, I'm going to become a teacher, or I'm going to become a landscaper. Some of you might have been a lawyer and you suddenly go, no, I'm going to go into natural healing. So these are the type of things that can happen with the universe as well. And oh, whoa, God, I didn't even notice all this going on in the background. Look, 3, 2 and 1 is 3, and 3. Boom, there's that Trinity aspect I was talking about. Although this one carries a little bit of sadness and pain, which I've talked about, I felt was covering off previous lifetimes, these two are far more positive and bode really well and very light. This recognition and reward is the Three of Pentacles. So for some of you, there is application or possibility of a job awareness increase or promotion or a pay increase or a reward or an award that comes through something you have done or achieved. And again, the universe ties in really well with that. Maybe you were working with 3 people and now the project is finished and it's time to move on, and there's a little bit of sadness about that. That's a possibility. But I'm getting the feeling this is way, way deeper. Some of you have come through something that has been either like a weight. And when I say a weight, it's not a physical weight, although for some of you it could be. It could be a physical health issue that has weighted you down. But for others of you, it's been a weight of the soul, a weight of this emotional burden, and you may not have even known what it was. But there's a feeling of, if you go into this enough, if you go into it deeply, if you meditate with it, if you connect with it, this is your higher self, this is the past timelines, you are getting a release, and you are also being rewarded for some work you've done. And this is the uplifting or the taking away of karma and releasing and replacing it with dharma, you know, good luck, good positive movement forward. These 3 cards here seem very convoluted. They seem to be pulling me into the vortex, and the vortex is like here in this celestial realm, and it's definitely like a time portal that is going on. Now, some of you may find this message really odd. You may be going, oh, I don't even know what you're talking about. Others of you are going to feel this quite deeply, and you'll feel pulled into the message through the imagery of the cards and the displacement of them, the Trinity effect, the 3 threes. So not only did we get the number 3, but we got 3 threes. So you start adding it all up, and there's a power of energy force moving through these cards. I feel if I sat here even longer, more and more would come, but I want to move on to some of the other cards as well. And at the same time, I want to give you guys the freedom or the opportunity to think about this collection of energies that have come, because this is personal. It's deeply personal, and you alone are going to have to focus on where you believe this is headed, or you know, whether you believe this is in the here and now and this is an accolade and a reward and a movement ahead, which can also be notoriety, so fame can come out of this as well, or whether you believe this is tied into a deeper seated personal obligation that your soul took on, that it has had work to do over lifetimes, and at this point in time on the timeline, we're coming to some culmination of events that is showing release, growth, and freedom of some sort. Yeah, very, very powerful stuff. I might just see if there's just one more from the John Holland, and if not, we'll move on to the other deck, the decks completely. They are really speaking to each other and moving through each other, those 3 cards, very succinctly and powerfully. Oh, what? God, I don't know what's happening to the readings. Since 2020 has come on board, if you've been watching some of the other astrological readings, which I do say to people, go and listen to your moon and your rising as well. The strange connection of synchronistic events, and especially repetitive numbers, is blowing me away, and I hope it's awakening something in all of you guys as well. So now you have 4 threes. So this 3 is also just boom, it's just attached itself into this energy field that is opening up here. Again, we see partnerships and alliances down here, and this is the 3 of Wands, so it represents expansion, growth, moving out, especially for businesses in the here and now. So career and business for you guys have great opportunities of potential positives, and that's in this normal life that we're talking about. And you may form a new partnership or alliance with someone, and this can also be personal. So while one may have fallen by the wayside, a new one may very well be taking its place as we speak. And I did say that these can be very temporary anyhow. The number 3 is quite a transitory number, and it moves through fairly quickly. But now that you've got the 4 threes, the power of the 3 has been manifested again and added to at an even deeper level. And again, we look at this hand holding down here in this deep, deep partnership of trust and support and being there, which is partnerships and alliances. I don't know what more to say, but again, I'm feeling through timelines, and we see the 2 different colors here of the skin. So there's something about, and the tattoo down here marking on his arm, the tribal or family line tattoo. There's something very special within this grouping of cards, and I certainly won't be pulling any more out than this for the reading. From this deck. So I'm going to just place them back up there. Again, just think and ponder upon where you're headed personally with all of those 3s. I'll just very quickly pull a couple of cards from here for you, from the Taurine Virtue Daily Guidance deck, and some of these have come out. I will just go a little bit further. I'm only going to take 2 of these because I've got another 2 decks to go, and they will also have beautiful messages. So there's one, giving and receiving. Oh, and this energy here, although this may not interest some of you, it's a card that really reverberates Australia's energy. And of course, Australia has been on the mind of so many people, and especially their indigenous animals, of which 2 of these are theirs. And there's an angel there overseeing them and looking after them. And the cycle of giving and receiving was a big issue I talked about for their healing and rain calling work that I did earlier in January. And I said they needed to balance the cycle of giving and receiving. So there's an angel come in for Australia, still there with us. I was pondering this morning before I started your reading. I was hoping that we still had more rain to come and who was working on it. So this may be a slight interference coming in from the collective. For any Australians watching or listening, or for any of you who have put prayers forward for Australia, know that your work has been highly nurtured and appreciated and valued, and that the cycle is still continuing. So I do believe there will be more input for Australia yet. But if we come back to you guys, the giving and receiving is when you're in this cycle, so much more happens. The wheels turn, life evolves, and it's a wee bit like the universe. Nothing can happen fully about evolution until we have learnt the value of giving and receiving. And when we have managed to balance that, that's when evolution takes place and the cyclical events of the galaxy or the universe evolve. So just another really positive message here for you all in regards to giving and receiving and balancing. Trustworthy guidance is just saying, again, there's more angelic evidence for you going on in the background. There's more support if you need it, to call upon it, to feel into it. They may be supportive in helping you with a project such as this, which is a creative project, ideas coming in through daydreaming, through hearing the messages of your celestial helpers or your higher self. So some of you who are moving on to this new project are still getting ideas or thoughts coming through. Some of you may be really like a thunderbolt of stuff coming in, messages that are blowing you away, or thoughts or ideas, or something that's letting you understand to a greater degree why certain things are happening in your life and how you can actually move through it. So feel into the energy of your celestial helpers and your higher self. Some of you may even feel like something behind you or something on your shoulder from time to time as well. So we will move on to this deck next, which is the beautiful animal spirit card deck. For some reason, before I started your reading, I was really compelled to get this out, and I'm wondering what animals come for you, because I'm thinking of the deer and the butterflies for some reason. So let's just see for Cancer what messages are coming from the Oracle of the Animal Guides. Now, when these cards arrive, think about the animal that arrives and the messages from within. The scarab beetle, magic works through you. 52, 7. 52 is a 7. Scarab beetle spirit, magic works through you. And I think we've seen quite a bit of magic potential in the beginning of the reading. Another one that came for you was eagle spirit. Oh, look at that. Spirit has your back. I mean, seriously, guys, when you get messages that are so tied to each other, you wonder how these magical moments and synchronicities and events occur. I just was talking to you about, you may even feel the celestial presence behind you on your back and with one hand on your shoulder. And eagle spirit has your back. You are being guided, you are being protected, you are being given ideas, insights, creativity in particular. Wow. I'll just take one more from here. So we had these ones come out. I don't know what they are. I haven't seen them. I'm just going to pick one. Which one? This one. Ant spirit, time to collaborate. And we've seen that with, you know, I've said to you, you had so many number 3s, the Trinity number, working in partnerships, working with 3 people, partnerships and alliances. So something in here for you guys is about the potentiality of collaboration. And when that can happen, there can be a great expansion of a collaborative project that has success. So whether this is collaborating at a personal level to take forward something, move it forward, create it, instigate it, or whether this is at a bigger collaboration such as a work project with other people, and it may be more than 3, or whether this is at a community collaboration or even a global collaboration. I think there's opportunity in here for you guys, Cancer, to really break open and break out and collaborate and create. Yeah, wonderful, wonderful messages for you. This is a great reading, a really nice reading. We're going to move to the last card for you guys from the Nari Anastasia Cosmic Reading deck. This is for Cancer. What would you like to tell them? So far, they have had a beautiful reading with just amazing power and insight for them. But what would you like them to focus on here, and what insight have you got for them? There's 2 that have come out. I'm normally been only taking one, but in this instance, perhaps I will do both of them. So we will read both of them. And they are, let's do one at a time. Patience. Patience is a virtue. Find it if you can. And emotions. Oh, boom. 12. Let me just, because I really want to do this, I just want to re-empower the 3 energy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 3s. So 5 threes are 15, and 15 equals 6, and 6 is 3. Okay, so now just power point these threes together and really take the surge of energy from this 3, so that 3, 6, 9 are all quite magical numbers. So there's something for you guys. You might like to look into the power of 3 and see what it's telling you in the deep depths of the behind, and some of you might really resonate with that as well. In the meantime, I will put those cards in the background and we will read 25 and 12, patience and emotions. So with the first of the cards on the left, patience. Patience is surrendering to the now and allowing destiny to unfold at its own pace. And if this card has come to you, slow down and enjoy the presence of this moment. Although you may have the passion and drive to reach for the moon, you are being asked to take things slower and feel the magic of each step. Each step holds lessons that bring you closer to the divine in you. By being too hasty, with an attitude of needing your dreams and goals yesterday, you will miss vital, life-changing moments that are meant to enhance, enrich, and transform your soul. When you overlook or dismiss the lessons of each step and race frenetically towards your goals, the end result may not always be as you had planned. You may get what you worked for only to lose it as a result of challenging, unforeseen obstacles. Now that you have attained what you desired, the next step involves striving to keep it. If the lesson in each step was overlooked, the emotional challenges of maintaining this desire can be draining and emotionally overwhelming. Each step brings you lessons such as strength, wisdom, compassion, understanding, and patience, which allow your soul to grow. When these empowering life lessons are missed, you are not equipped to stand strong in the face of adversity. Slow down and let nature's cycle take their course. Trust in divine timing. Take each step one at a time and embrace the beautiful opportunities and gifts of understanding that come your way. There's an affirmation you can use. I am patient and grateful for the wonderful opportunities that present themselves to me for the growth and enrichment of my soul. And the associated chakras are the solar plexus and the heart. The second card, number 12, which is your fifth number 3, is emotions. So let's see what the message for that is. It is time to acknowledge and release suppressed emotional energy in a positive, constructive way. Emotions and feelings assist us in navigating our way through life. They are fundamental to determining the health of our physical, mental, and spiritual well-being. Many people suppress their emotions for fear of being consumed by them. Neglected, stored emotions create volcanic pressure within, which can be detrimental to one's energy and body. If you have selected this card, Spirit is encouraging you to allow your emotions to flow in a safe space for you. Express your emotions. If you're sad, then cry. If you're angry, then be angry. Acknowledge and truly feel this process. Observe the emotions that are being released and ask yourself from where do these reactions and emotions stem. Perhaps past memories and experiences are overlaying the current experience and increasing its emotional impact on you. It's so easy to overlook the tight grip these denied emotions have had on you until they are released. Channeling these emotions in a positive, constructive way rather than ignoring them, allows you to free yourself of the emotional baggage within you. This act of releasing enables you to be present to enjoy the magic and awe of your everyday miracles. It's easy and tempting to resist these unpleasant emotions, but the only way you will be free of this suppressed energy is to walk through the emotions. Writing down your feelings, releasing your emotions to nature, or talking with someone you trust are just some of the many ways you can dispel this pent-up energy. Be gentle and compassionate with yourself during this process. And there's a mantra that you can use. Great Spirit, please guide me through this process of cleansing and releasing with love. And the chakra is the sacral chakra. So quite strong messages to finish off for you guys, Cancer, about releasing, letting go. So the giving and receiving cycle, not holding on to that past, that anything that has burdened you, whether it be karmic past, whether it be past lifetimes, whether it be health issues, whether it be emotional trauma. It's time to let those emotions go so that you can move into this new dynamic of 2020 energy and into the 20s with freedom to be the who you really are. Thank you for subbing the channel. Thank you for liking the video. We all love it when you leave your comments, so please feel free to do so. Check your moon and rising. And guys, I wish you a very magical February ahead with all of those threes that you can sit and meditate with and see where the energy of the three takes you. Much love, everyone. Namaste.